What is going on, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. Guys, the Indiana Pacers won a game in Orlando tonight, winning 111 to 97, a 14-point victory, improving their record to 36 and 29, which currently has them sitting at the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference right now. So again, plenty of opportunities still here. They are in the playoffs and with a stretch ahead that they can work around. But nevertheless, they are still in the playoff picture, hoping to continue this good stretch. This was really a game. Not a lot of great things going on for either team. Neither team shooting the ball very well today, even though the Pacers definitely shot the ball a lot better than the Orlando Magic. Pacers with shooting almost 49% from the field, and the Magic shooting 37.5% from the field. And the three-point range didn't get much better there for either team. Pacers shooting almost 35%, while the Magic shooting 25%. So again, the Magic with a terrible night shooting the basketball. No doubt as to why they lose this game, even at home, which is very surprising given how hot the Orlando Magic have gotten as of recently and how great of a home record they have. This is one of those teams that's been one of the best teams in basketball at home this season, and they lay a giant goose egg at this one. Pacers shooting 82% from the free throw line, 76% for the Magic. And it was about the same amount of rebounds, about the same number of assists. The one thing that you definitely could take away from this game was the Pacers did dictate a lot of the pace of the game today. Steal-wise, Magic had 7 and the Pacers had 5. But you look at the blocks, 10 blocks by the Indiana Pacers in this game, and then for only 3 for the Orlando Magic. So you see the Pacers definitely dominating on the inside, getting that great shot blocking defense. And the main aspect of this game really came down a lot to the fast break points. The Pacers with 27 fast break points, and the Orlando Magic with 0. No fast break points in this game, and the Pacers had 6 less fouls than the Magic did. So overall, when you look at this, the pace of the game really is what it came down to. The Pacers had more control of it than what the Orlando Magic did. And of course, when you're shooting less than 40% from the field and only shooting 25% from 3, most times you're not going to win those games. So the Magic had a rough night, and the Indiana Pacers were able to pull together enough to be able to secure the win for this game. Looking at the box scores here for the Indiana Pacers, starting 5, Siakam played 33 minutes today, shot under 50% from the field, had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, was a +6 on the night. Naismith, who was the best positive athlete on the court at any given time today, played 37 minutes, had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, but also had 2 blocks and had 3 fouls, but did shoot 50% from the field and 67% from 3. So Naismith was a very influential player both on the defense and on the offense today. Miles Turner, 31 minutes, shot under 50% as well, but had 12 points, 8 rebounds, was a +14. Nembhard with the very most interesting stat of the night, 25 minutes on the court for the Pacers and did not score a single point, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Offensively was just not much of a factor in this game, but it was definitely a weird night for him. Halliburton, 36 minutes on the court tonight, did shoot under 50%, actually really only shot about 40% from the field. It was not a great night shooting the basketball. did go 7 of 7 from the free throw line, so that's good. Did have 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he definitely had himself a decent night. Definitely is working back to trying to get his offensive rhythm back. But I would say that the biggest influences outside of Naismith, I would say, well, also with the fact that Miles Turner, I didn't even mention this with Miles Turner. Miles Turner had 6 blocks in this game. So very fantastic work on the inside there for Miles Turner in that regard. But I think the more important stuff here, the 2 players off the bench who had some fantastic games, Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell. Obi Toppin with 25 minutes off the bench, had 17 points and 8 rebounds, also had a block and a steal, and shot pretty much 80% from the or shot 72% from the field. So I mean, fantastic work by Obi Toppin to be able to put up those kinds of numbers off the bench. And TJ McConnell as well, 27 minutes, 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Also had 2 steals and a block. He was a plus 10 on the night and shot over 60% from the field as well, actually shooting 67%. So, I mean, McConnell and Obi Toppin, I'll tell you what, McConnell's had a couple really great performances this year, particularly off the bench, but he's been phenomenal this year, and he has really taken over the role of like the 6th man off the bench. He is just such a great influence when everybody else's scores get off the court. And when McConnell gets out there, he initiates that offense so well, man. He doesn't have to shoot threes. He doesn't have to do anything crazy. He just does enough to be able to keep the offense moving. He's able to get you that 10 to 15 points a night, sometimes even more if he's out there for a significant amount of time. And he has done such a great job this year. And also Obi Toppin, we made a video, I think probably back in late January, early February, talking about Obi Toppin and how, he's been very sluggish, just doesn't seem like he's getting it figured out very well. But Obi Toppin over the last couple of games has really put it on. I mean, he didn't do much against Minnesota, but I mean, he did play very well against Dallas. Had another great game tonight. He's just had a couple of games over the last stretch of 10 games where he's had himself some pretty solid performances, I would say. And that's great to see Obi Toppin, having more consistency, I would say, off the bench than what we have seen in earlier in the season or even late January, early February, where he just wasn't really scoring anything. So fantastic job there by the Indiana Pacers. Again, it was a sluggish night for both teams, but sometimes that's just the kind of performance that you're going to get. And it's just one of those situations where not a lot of people have anything going for them, but you have to win those grinded out games. And that was what the Indiana Pacers were able to do tonight. And that's a great thing, because obviously you got another stretch coming up here. You had the Timberwolves just a few days ago. That was a tough one, took it down to the wire. But now you got to face the Thunder. You got to face the Bulls, who have definitely are still looking to try to make a staple back into the playoff picture. You're going to have them on a back-to-back. But, you got the Nets, you got the Cavaliers, the Pistons, who I will be going to that game, actually. So if you guys are there, let me know. But yeah, the Pacers' schedule is not going to get any easier going forward. But if the Pacers can keep stringing together a few more of these wins, then it's really going to help them, because, again, as I mentioned earlier, with that 8th seed, you're only half a game back from the 7th seed and the 6th seed. The Heat and the Sixers, who are only a half game away from the Pacers in those spots. So, you're not that far off. And of course, like I mentioned, the Magic, they're only 2 games ahead, and the Knicks are only 2.5 games ahead, and they're in the 4th seed. So there's a lot of opportunities here for the Indiana Pacers to make things happen. We will see if they get it going. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this Indiana Pacers win over the Orlando Magic. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, go Pacers.